Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below. Good evening everybody and welcome along once again to Apex Online Racing. This is season 19 of Hype Energy's Xbox One F1 League, and today we're here at Spielberg for round number 11 for the Austrian Grand Prix right here at the Red Bull Ring. It was renamed the Red Bull Ring in 2011, and this very circuit made its reappearance back in 2014 during the start of the hybrid era, where the race was won by Nico Rosberg in a Mercedes. It has raced here ever since to date, and it's my favourite race to watch in real life and in Gleam Racing. There's one particular corner to watch out for, and that is turn 1, because it was renamed the Niki Lauda curve in tribute to Niki Lauda, who has won 3 world titles. Let's have a look at the track then. 4.3 kilometres long with 10 corners, 7 to the right and 3 to the left, making it the shortest lap on the F1 calendar, with laps closer to the 1 minute range. 3 DRS zones for overtaking, 1 being at start finish straight, 1 through turn 2 and 3, and 1 going into turn 4. It's seen some fantastic battles around those corners, including one during the last few laps of the real life Australian Grand Prix last year. As always, it's a 50% race, which consists of an 18-minute qualifying session and 36 laps at a race distance of approximately 153 kilometres. There's 32 gear changes per lap. 3 compounded tyres available today: the softs, which is the C4s, the mediums, the C3s, and the hards, which are C2s. Tyre deck is not too bad around here, and you can either do soft to mediums, soft to hards, or mediums to softs. The mediums being 0.8 slower than the softs, and the hards 1.2 seconds slower than the softs. Okay then, so let's have a look at the championship standings. Ewan is unable to make the final 2 races due to personal reasons, which means that Jam Pancakes 44 is now your season 19 Xbox One F1 champion with 2 races to go, with consistent performances all season for him by taking 4 wins this season, 2 podiums, and consistently being in the points. He definitely deserves the championship title. Big mention to Ewan as well for also performing brilliantly this season and scoring the same amount of wins as well. So we've got Adam Dude in 3rd, Clenzo in 4th, SR Bobbert in 5th. The championship still to be decided for those lot. Pietro in 6th, Humperdinck in 7th, Chris in 8th, and we've got Thibaut in 9th and Smasher Sam in 10th, and we got the rest from 11th down to 20th. So, looking at the constructors, Mercedes on 242 points, which meaning they have to score at least 26 or 27 points to secure the Constructors' Championship today over Haas. We got Racing Point in 3rd, Renault in 4th, Toro Rosso in 5th place, McLaren in 6th, Ferrari in 7th place, Williams in 8th, Alfa Romeo in 9th, and we've got Red Bull in 10th. My name is Jess, and I will be your commentator throughout this evening's race. Unfortunately, due to personal reasons, Dicer is unable to join me in the commentary box, but do not worry, you just got left with me for the remaining 2 races of this season. Don't forget, we're in Austria this week, and we are at Brazil next week. 2 of one of the best circuits to man, I must say. So, if you haven't watched last week's race, where have you been? Because obviously it went absolutely crazy as Thibaut managed to secure his first win of the season, which was great to see, and well done to him. I don't think he's here tonight though, so we could see quite a few different winners at the moment. So at the moment, VRT Lefted excuse me, is on provisional pole position with a 104.305 at the moment, closely followed by Pietro with a 104.4. Now I need to find someone like I can go on a lap. Now I would go on board with our current champion, but he's in the pits, so I can't. So we are going to go on board with the amazing Crescito, and that's how you say it. So, yeah, I always pronounce it wrong. And actually, no, let's not go on board with him as he's taking the last line very interestingly there. And quite a few invalidations, but let's go on board with Bobbert in the Renault as he starts his lap. As he about to go towards through the Lauda corner, turn 1. The first of 2 uphill 90-degree right-handers going 200 miles per hour on entry. The straight before, and he's just invalidated. So, yeah, the curse of commentating over a hot lap continues here at AOR, here at Apex Online Racing, when I choose to commentate anyway. So, hopefully I can find someone at least. Now, this guy, he's the only Haas driver out on circuit today because obviously Ewan is not here. And Ewan's reserve is not here either. So, Adam Dude ideally has got to be on the podium with the 2 Mercedes not scoring much. But, you know, if 2 Mercedes score less than 27 points, then the constructors still can go to the final round. I will have to do some maths behind the scenes, but again, it's going to be really hard to do by myself, so you guys will have to bear with me, of course. Now, I'll go through the pit windows of these drivers later on when we get to the formation lap, but everybody is on the soft compounder tyres right now, and the softs are the best tyres to be on around Austria to start your flyer. So let's see if we can go on board with an uninvalidated lap, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Let's keep our wits about us. So, Adam D just goes past turn 1 now. And it's straight before turn 1 is one of 3 DRS zones. And you're about to approach the second. Right now, you're going to go through into turn 3. And you're going to go onto the left-hand side of the curb. We're travelling at 200 miles per hour. And you're going to go around about second gear. If you go higher than that, it's going to be quite difficult. Now I'll go through into turn 4. Another overtaking opportunity here as well. And then you're about to approach turn 5. The first high-speed corner on the track. You're going to go down, go up into 5th, then into 6th gear going into turn 6. And then into turn 7 going into the right-hand curb here. And crucially, when you go into 7th, 8th gear, you really want to go into overtake mode, which is what Adam Dude is showing right now. The penultimate corner is where we've seen quite a few people invalidate in the past, particularly last season in Oceania when I was commentating there. And Adam Dude comes across the line in P6 with a 104.376. And speaking of the devil, one of our reserves, T10 Montoya, has joined, which is great news. But that means he will be starting at the back of the grid, which means we'll have 17 drivers, which is better than nothing, I guess. So let us know your predictions on who you think is going to win this qualifying battle, who you think is going to get pole. I will also need to check the weather conditions. There's quite a few people on their second out laps. They are very keen to get in the session. Now, they're using a lot of softs, so I assume it could be wet races, but okay, right, that's going to be interesting. That's why people are using most of their softs. So it is going to be, apparently, according to the drivers, it's going to be inters for the race, I believe. So that is going to make things intriguing. So that is why most people on the softs earlier. I thought a lot of people would be on the mediums, but that explains why people are on the soft compounded tyres earlier. Flying Rosie on the hards. So that's going to be interesting. Maybe he did not check the weather, but Jam Pancakes, he's probably going to get a feel for the track. Now, if I was Jam Pancakes, I would have gone for the mediums to start with and then go on the softs, because what happens if it's a change in conditions race? You want to have enough tyres as possible to get a best possible lap in, and basically Jam Pancakes is leaving his options open. And I was commentating on a race yesterday where it was a wet to dry race, but it was not enough for the intermediate tyres. It was basically slick tyres on a wet track, and for the first few laps, due to the fact that the tyres were so cold, a lot of people were struggling, so we could potentially see the exact same today. We'll have to find out as Colenso comes across the line. He only improves by 6,000 of a second as Flying Rosie has retired from the session. Now, we do have a few stewards inquiries to go through. And due to a few of Rosie's incidents last week in Canada, Flying Rosie has got a qualifying ban. So he was able to do a few installation laps. Ideally, you're only allowed to do one installation lap, and then that's it. And then you will be asked to retire from the session or just go into the pits until the end. They are allowed to do installation laps, of course, so they can get their setup, because sometimes on this game and on other games as well, other F1 editions, it doesn't really lock your setup if you just retire without setting any laps in quali. So, yeah, that is why, of course. But, so Flying Rosie has done what he needs to do, which is good news. So no disqualifications for him, as LGS is now going through turn 5 and into turn 6 now. Now, LGS has been a little bit of a hit and miss season for him. He has had 2 DNFs. His best finish was in the 4th round, which I believe was in Hungary. No, not Hungary, Monza. And honestly, he performed astonishing. And remember, in Monza, it just got absolutely chaos for the last couple of laps. I mean, and LGS ended up being in the top lot. So, who knows, we may see the same today. And I know in Austria, safety cars, from my own experience, is quite common. Because when I've been league racing, 9 times out of 10, you can get it at the start of the race, you can get it in the middle half of the race, or you can get it at the end. But most of the time, I think there was one race where it came in lap 1, but it was intermediate conditions. And then there was one race in the dries where it came out towards the end. So anything can happen here. And I have been told by the stewards today to keep an eye on the pit entry line. They have to stick to the white line going into the pit entry. They can't go into the racing line. Now, LGS is running out of fuel. So hopefully LGS can show how the pit lane line should be taken. And yes, he does. So that is how all the drivers are expected to do that tonight. If either another driver catches you going, cutting the pit lane line to your advantage, using the racing line and then going into the pits, then you will, I believe, get a 5-second penalty added to your race time. And Lefted just got on pole position with a 103.9, and times I'm expecting around Austria to be really close between these drivers. Now, if I just get the gap very quickly, there we go. Between 1st and 13th place, it's about 5/10 of a second. That is absolutely crazy. Insane. I know Maze probably would go quicker. And I think, knowing Jam Pancakes, since he's already won the championship already, he is the one that's got the least to lose. He could, if I was him, I would, for a bit of fun, start at the back of the grid, see what happens, and see what he could do. Because he has nothing to worry about. Ewan is not going to take part. His next challenger is Adam Dude. So why not? So maybe he could be invalidating on purpose. But again, it makes it more fun for the viewers. So we'll have to wait and see. But we'll see if Jam Pancakes set a lap right now. But knowing him, he's got the racer inside of him and he just wants to set a lap anyway. So Crescito is on a lap as well, going towards the final corner. So they can use as many softs as they want, as long as it doesn't get dry in the session, in the race. Because even though it might say just inters for the whole session, Cody's can throw a spanner in the works. There was one point where in one of the races I took part in, it said it was going to be heavy rain in 45 minute mark. It turned out it was wet to dry, and that got a bit confusing. Even though I retired then because I bottled it, but you know, the drivers are going to be on their A game pretty much when it comes to those types of things. So watch out. So 15,000. Wow. Smasher just come and set. I need to actually check what Smasher's time was. 103.975. That's extremely close. Now, in Oceania, we did see a 104, but we didn't go directly into the 103s. We're already in the 103s already. That's insane how fast these drivers are. But we've seen the PS4 guys go faster than this. So who knows? These guys can go even quicker. You know, I mean, even on the next game, on F1 2020, it's been predicted that the cars are meant to go faster. We could go to the 102s. I know, I'm over-exaggerating, I know, but it could happen. It could happen, but it might make things unrealistic, but there we go. But, you know, that just goes to show. Insane. So, 2 minutes and 47 seconds left of qualifying. This is the penultimate qualifying of the session, of the season even. 2 more chances to get your car in pole position. And I know some of these guys would want to snatch pole position for some of these guys. And I'm going to have a quick look at the pole statistics this season. And there's been 6 different pole sitters out of 11 so far, out of 10 so far. Dan, as in Jam Pancakes, has got 3. Ewan has got 2. Humperdink's got 1. Lefted has got 1. I know Shadow has got 1 as well. Street Gamer has got 1 as... No, Shazoo Streets has got 1. I think that was a race I missed. So, you know, it's nice to have a variant so far. As Christo has improved as well on 103.966 as well. So sorry about this, guys. It's hard. It's going to be hard to keep track on most people's laps, but hopefully I will do my best to make sure I can provide as much of the qualifying laps as we possibly can. Now, don't forget, we are sponsored by Hype Energy and GT Amiga Racing, also Elgato as well. Elgato provide capture cards, which I'm using to record this, and Stream Decks and Cam Links, whatever, you know. And people may take advantage of the Prime deals coming out in July as well. So I recommend you get an Elgato to capture your stuff, especially for the new F1 2020 game. Awesome. Now, everyone's on their last laps now. Everybody's going out very quickly, as not a train of cars as you would expect. We do have a Red Bull and a McLaren quite close together, giving each other tow. That is, I believe, John Papp and Corneretti, I believe. And Corneretti is on his in-lap anyway, so unless he has time to go out again, then I don't think he's going to go out. We do have a few yellow flags going into the final corner, so, and we do have someone stopped. I do believe that's a Ferrari. That's Tribbian. That's Tribbian. He might have got damage. I'm not entirely sure, but he's invalidated. Hopefully he has enough time to get 1 lap in, but his tyres are not going to look good anyway. And he's running out of fuel as well. That is absolutely frustrating. So I think... And Corneretti is gone into the pits. He's retired as well. So let's see. And Amaze has just invalidated, so he can't improve. We've got a Renault of LGS. He's going to come across the final corner now. The checker flag has dropped here in Spielberg in the Red Bull ring. And LGS comes across the line. He doesn't improve in P14. We've got a Williams. That's not Amaze. He's in the gravel. I didn't see who that Williams was, but that was Lefted actually. He can't improve on his pole time. And we got Clenzo, we got Bobbert, and we've got the other, we've got another McLaren somewhere of Smasher, and Smasher gets on pole position with a 103.8. Can anyone stop him? This guy, Humperdinck, he's really got to help his teammate today win the Constructors' fight, but they have nothing to lose as Amaze did not help the timing there. But we've got Humperdinck now coming across the line. And it is a 105.229, so he does not improve. And I've just confirmed that Jam Pancakes will be starting last. I think he done that on purpose, to be honest, which is fair enough for the Mercedes driver, obviously. But to be honest, that leaves all but a lot of pressure for Humperdinck, because if he wants to claim it today, the constructors today, his teammate has got to do a lot of hard work right now. And so here we go. Here are your qualifying standings. And look at how close it is between first and third. Sensational, 91 thousandths of a second. So we've got Smasher in first. His first pole position of the season. Lefted in second. Casito in third. Clenzo in fourth. Roberts fifth. Adam Dude sixth. Pietro in seventh. Humperdinck in eighth. John Papp in ninth. Hawk in 10th. And then we got Tribbian and Mays. Connor Eddy. LGS. Flying Rosie and Jan Pancakes. So, and even Smasher Sam said that it wasn't his best lap time of the session, which was which means he could have gone faster. He could have gone faster, and as confirmation, the drivers were not lying, and I do trust them. And it is, and oh, okay, I see. It might be. Is it just me? But I see dry tyres. I see dry tyres in the garages. I see dry tyres in Amaze's garage. So it could be that it may not be in Inter's race. It could be dry tyres. We could see the exact same thing that I've seen last night. It might be the curse, the Inter's curse for the Inter's commentator's curse, but. Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see, but let me know your thoughts, because obviously some of these guys may have gone for a wet setup. So this can change things massively here as everyone is getting ready. And no lobby delays like last week, which is good news. So let's look at the tyres. And it is Inter's. So it's just my imagination by the looks of things. But yeah, if it was a normal dry race, the softs will last to about lap 9. But there's no point me going talking about the strategy, because there is none. There is, well, there's just Inter's. Not sure how long the Inter's last around here. I think it could last exactly the same as the mediums. Around about 20 laps or so before they can go on to another set of Inters. The question is, I don't think it's going to dry up, so it's going to be the same here. And already we could see an upset here. My prediction is we could see an upset today. We've seen it in quite a few races this season where it's been changeable conditions. I think it's one of the first. Well, I think we did see a bit of wet in China, but this is, gotta spice things up a little bit. It could bring the likes of Bobbitt into the mix as well. Because, Bobbitt is really good in these wet conditions. John Papp as well is quite good at moving his way up the field as well. And obviously, T10 Montoya, he joined in the session late into qualifying. So he will be starting in last place. But around here and around Austria, it's probably not a bad move, as he can avoid the carnage that may erupt going into turn 1. So for those of you that just joined us, welcome along to Xbox One F1 to the penultimate round of the season. A very, well, it's not that soggy Austrian Grand Prix, but it's a bit of wet anyway. And for those of you that don't know, due to you not being able to make the last couple of rounds and the point gap being around about 36 points, Jan Pancakes is your Season 19 Xbox One F1 champion. But he's got to make sure that he doesn't get involved in any incidents to avoid getting disqualified from the championship. I mean, you don't want that to happen, but you never know. So Jan Pancakes has got to take it seriously, but he's going to have some fun. anyway. It's going to be technically a last two challenge for Jam Pancakes. And it's a wet draw, and it's a wet draw. It's wet again at the end. So wet draw. Oh, so it's going to be wet, then it's going to be dry, then it's going to be wet again. It's going to be hard to keep up with these strategies. I don't know. So really, these guys have got to be on their toes. And the 5 lives are coming up on your screens right now. Smasher on the right, left on the left. Let's see who gets the best start. And we are underway here in Austria. And it's Smasher that's got a really good start from Lefted. Lefted dropping all the way down a little bit. Crescito going to try and go for the outside move. And already we're seeing carnage as Clenzo has had a spin in the turn at 2. And we've got another Ferrari as well who got caught up in that instant too. They're down into 16th and 17th place respectively. But let's see how everyone makes it through turn 2 and 3, all very cleanly so far. But let's see, Cristo is going to go to the inside of Lefted into turn 4. Let's see if we can do it this time. We've got Bubbets on the same line as well. Bubbets could say, if anything he could do better. We'll have to wait and see about that one. But Smasher having a lightning start. You can absolutely see that he's controlling the wet conditions. Already 1.5 seconds between him and the Ferrari driver. And left it about 6 attempts. He's dropping a little bit, but Bobbers is catching with every ounce of his breath right now as well. Meanwhile, in the midfield at the moment, Pietro looking good in 7th place, along with Adam Dude in 8th. Adam Dude has got to make quite a few positions right now in order to make sure he keeps the constructors' hopes alive for another race. So we see Flying Rosie making a move on Hawk as he's up into 13th place right now. It's Humperdinck. Mercedes versus Hassen. This is crucial for the constructors as Humperdinck tries to go around the inside. Doesn't quite do it. As Humperdinck stays in 9th. He's got to keep steady right now as it is quite easier to save ERS in the wet. If you lift and coast in some of the corners, that is where you can save some ERS, and that's what I've learned from when I was league racing in Austria a few weeks ago. As Jam Pancakes makes another position around the outside, he goes, and he is up into 11th place. And a little bit of a swerve from Flying Rosie in the background. As Flying Rosie in the racing point is up into 13th. Hawk struggling in the Alpha. The intermediate conditions is not going well in his favour at all. Almost swerving all over the place at the moment. Trying to defend off the likes of Tribbian. And LGS, he's not had a good start either. But luckily, no one has pit damage. Luckily, that spin that Clenzo had earlier on didn't cost him too much, apart from position. So, no DRS in this race. Well, in this part of the race anyway, as Roberts is going to get the outside line into turn 3. We've got Cristo covering the inside. This is ever so close between these two. Renault versus Ferrari. I can't believe I'm actually saying this because we don't usually get this in real life, of course. As Bobbets gets a move done up into 2nd place. And Smasher's probably going to like these guys battling for position, and he could stay pretty in 1st, and he's got quite a good buffer at the moment, which is what he wants at this stage. And I'll look at positions gained in a second, but meanwhile John Papp is in 5th position in the McLaren. He's the one who's gained quite a bit off the start. The 2 Red Bulls doing quite well as well. Montoya from last place, he's up into 11th. And Jam Pancakes from 2nd last up into 10th. So Jam Pancakes and Montoya have they've gained quite equal positions here. So great to see that. As John Papp then, he has got plenty of ERS compared to Lefted as well. So they're pretty much on the same. Meanwhile, they can save as much ERS as they possibly can. But some of these guys will be going to overtake mode pretty soon. So let's see if John Pat can have the edge. He's a little bit too further back to do it. But meanwhile, Lefted, he's about 4 attempts. Could this be his chance? No, but it's not. I think he struggled just a little bit on entry. I mean, that was ever so tight for Lefted. But I mean, he's in 4th. I mean, he's only dropped down a few positions, so he's hoping he can score better points than what he did last week. As we got Christo defending to the inside there, as we got a few people going into the pit, as Crescito is going into the pits quite early actually. So he might pit up damage. I'm not entirely sure. Now, this is another track where they've got to be careful with speeding in the pit lane. Meanwhile, John Pat and Lefted having another battle. And DRS is enabled. So apparently the track is drying up apparently. So like someone was saying in chat, I can't remember who actually said it was going to dry up in chat, as we've got John Pat's going a little bit wide into turn 3. Hopefully he doesn't all get a unsafe rejoin, which he doesn't. He then goes to the outside once again. And there he goes. Oh, contact from those two. Hopefully no damage, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on the medium tyres. Have those 5 timed it absolutely spot on. Crescito. And it is drying up. Don't forget, we are expecting rain later on in the race as well. So, you know, this could gain quite a few positions for him. What about Smasher? Smasher goes into the pits as well. Bobberts in the pits too. I was not expecting it to dry up that quickly. And Amaze is staying out. Amazed, Adam Dude, Humperdinck. Now, some of these guys, they have teammates. Of course they can't pit yet. Maybe Mercedes might try to do a double stack. But Jam Pancakes doesn't. Jam Pancakes stays out as well, because obviously his teammate is already in. So I think the ones who are still yet to pit are going to find it very tricky. But a mixture of strategies here. As Crescito. Oh, it's so close between him and Bobberts. I think Crescito has timed that strategy very well to get ahead of Bobberts still. Amazing. And he's also able to keep the gap between him and Smasher. He's even decreased it a little bit as well. The LGS has retired from the session. I think he retired in the pit lane. I think from what I'm aware, I think the team did not repair any front wing damage here. So that's worrying. That is worrying here. So, we've got Bobberts on the soft. We've got Smasher and Crescito and John Pat on the mediums, as Hawks retired as well. We got a safety car. Again, that's probably helped the top 5. Smasher is not going to like this at all, because everyone is going to go at reduced speed. I mean, he's going to hope that the pit crews go very slowly. And I think Hawk's accident did cause a safety car. I can't remember where he retired actually. And I think Smasher gets ahead. So I think Smasher is relieved about that. What about Bobberts? Bobberts and Crescito. So Bobberts got ahead of Crescito, as Bobberts was on the softer tyre, of course. And that was before the safety car. So Amazed in 4th place. Adam Dude in 5th. Humperdinck 6th. And Jam Pancakes in 7th. So the ones that it has hurted more than anything is Lefted. If you'd got a better start, you would have been with the likes of Smasher, Bobberts, Crescito in that safety car. I did say that we could have a potential for a safety car here in Spielberg, and look, here it is. Here it is, right before your very eyes here in Austria. So this gives me an opportunity to look at the positions gained. So, Bobberts has gained 3 positions. Amaze has gained 8. Adam Dude has gained 1. Humperdinck has gained 2. Jam Pancake has gained 9. Montoya has gained 7. Flying Rosie has gained 4. And the biggest losers, Lefted, down 6. Clenzo, down 5. Pietro, down 5. Tribune down 3. John Papp down 6 as we got the last of... Oh, has Humperdinck's got damage somehow then? Let's go on board with Humperdinck. Because he had to pit again. Mediums. No damage then. So, maybe it was a wrong call. Maybe he thought that the softs weren't the best for him. But the question is, I don't know when it's going to get more rainier. I think I've got a bit of my English wrong now. I do apologise. But, yeah, they don't know. So, the question is, who has got the call absolutely right? Is it the guys on the soft compounder tyres? Or is it the guy on the mediums? And unsurprisingly, no one has opted for... Actually, no. John Papp is opting for the hards. So John Papp is going to think and hope that the rain doesn't come until towards the end of this race. And he can last for quite a bit. And then he can pit at the end. Quite a bit of a gamble, I must say. Just to point that out. But, you know, never say never for John Papp. He could get this right. As most of the field has caught up now, as Humperdinck, I believe, has joined the back of the queue. Now, I'm almost certain I will have to do some math to see if Haas have done enough to secure, take the Constructors' title to the final race. And the safety car was in. And Smasher has got a very good run. Don't forget, you're not allowed to overtake until it goes green. And we are green here in Spielberg now, which is at the start finish line. If you overtake before that, then you could risk a penalty in-game or even post-race penalties. But already, Roberts is really challenging Smasher for P1 here. As Smasher tries to defend to the inside. Roberts covers to the outside here into turn 3. Roberts with a lightning start. That's really going to help him. Roberts is really going to hope and pray that the Inters come back sooner rather than later. Because if so, he would have played his strategy to perfection. And that's going to allow Roberts to pull away from the rest of the field. Smasher is going to be under pressure from the lightning, the prancing horse of Cressito, who has pretty much impressed me a lot this race. One of his best races so far, I must say. But to be honest, his best finish was in Germany, where he got P3. He's P3 at the moment, so he's looking to equal his best result. But there are a few people that really want to gain from other people's penalties tonight. As, again, this could be another track where we could see penalty central here. And if it's just me that the track is drying so quickly, it's quite, for one moment it's starting to be very sunny. The hills are alive here in Spielberg. You can just about almost see the sun poking out. The sun wants to come alive. It's, you know, I'm going to stop with the puns because, yeah, the puns, if I put too many puns in one sentence, it just does not work. But Smash is not giving up though. He's got to do his best to keep those tyres at a reasonable condition. Don't forget, Smasher has an advantage though. He's on newer tyres. But I wonder if his setup is tailored to either more downforce or less downforce. I don't know. It's hard to see what they've configured their setup as. We'll find out pretty soon as Smasher. He's got not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 cars right behind him. Even 6 cars in just a very big DRS train here. You've got to keep your wits about you in Austria, and that's what Smasher's got to do. But meanwhile, let's jump back to actually the back as we got Tribune on Pietro on Flying Rosie. Let's see if they can get the run into turn 3 as much as possible. No, not quite. So let's jump back to Adam Dude. Adam Dude's doing well to make sure he keeps his fights alive here, as obviously he's the sole representing Haas today. To be honest, I think he's probably going to forget about the pressure that he's living himself up to, because to be honest, I don't want to be in the pressure where you're the only Haskar and you've got to score pretty much a win to potential in the at least one win in the next 2 races to make sure that you pretty much secure the take the constructors title to your hands, really. And it was in Haas's favour in the opening rounds of the season, but then it got moved to Mercedes. So, you know, I think Adam Dude was hoping, obviously Ewan was going to be there, but if Ewan was there for the final 2 rounds, the championship would have been still wide open in the drivers as well. But, you know, it happens. As Jam Pancakes and Lefted, they're going side by side then. Jam Pancakes is doing very well, up in 7th place right now. I think Jam Pancakes was waiting until he can get the DRS into turn 3. Now approaching the downhill section, coming up into turn 4, but Jam Pancakes is a little bit too further back to make the move on this occasion, so staying put. I mean, I think he's just saving all his element for a potential next pit stop when it gets even wetter, but you never know. We'll have to wait and see as we come onto lap 12 already. That's how quickly this race has gone so far. Now, the pit window has has caught quite a few cars off guard there, and he got damage from that. I only seen the aftermath of that, so he's down into 15th. Let me just actually follow him in the pit lane. His pit crew are ready, of course, but again, that is unfortunate for him. That might be questioned in the stewards, of course, and yes, it is a front wing change onto the hards then. So that implies that the wet can come at the end. Near the end. We'll have to wait and see. Bobbitts leads by 1.2 seconds. Smasher leads Christo by 1.5. So the top 2, they're just running away with it right now. But you never know. These 2 could make a mistake right now, which I really do hope they don't, because obviously we want to see fair racing. This is round 2 between Lefted and Jam Pancakes. Let's see if Jam Pancakes could do any better as well. Lefted has got a really good run on Adam Dude, actually, going into the start-finish straight and into turn 1. We haven't seen many overtakes into turn 1, so potentially we could see something different around here. Lefted can't make the move on Adam Dude, and neither could Jam Pancakes. The only person that's got no DRS is Crisito, so he is in really bad form. If you know, not bad form, but he's at a really bad disadvantage, really, to be honest. As now approaching turn 5 and keeping it calm, keeping it collected. Flying Rosie, he's lost position to Pietro, gets a move down on the outside, and Pietro is up into 9th place in this Grand Prix. Between 9 laps and 11 laps is where people on the softs will be expected to pit on to the mediums or the hards, because there's no way the softs are going to last until the wet period. There's just no way. No way. As we can see, the other Mercedes of Humperdinck just giving it absolutely everything right now. There's battles happening all over the shot going into turn 1. Tribune with a little bit of lag. That's probably not going to do Humperdinck any favours, but we'll see. DRS wide open then. He's running out of air, so that's not going to help him. But never say never to this Mercedes as he tries to seal the constructors. A little bit late on the brakes, and that's costed him, and I think the racing point as well. Meanwhile, let's jump back to Lefted and Crisito. Lefted's got the move done on Crisito. Adam doing that up into 3rd place. It's just crazy the amount of the battles that are happening right now. And the top 2 are just running away with it and just saying, you know, keep up with the battles, thanks. We can already see Smasher in the background trying to close in on Bobbitts to see if he can get enough DRS. The softs potentially could start to wear out now, and that means it could all go in the medium tyres' favour. And for Lefted and Bobbitts, they could be starting to get pretty worried. So they'll have to make another pit stop, and then they'll have to make one for the Inters if it's wet enough. So, in a few laps time, in about 2 laps time, we'll be halfway into this Grand Prix, as Tribbian has got a 3-second time penalty due to multiple warnings. That's not good, as Jam Pancakes is looking to take advantage of that into turn 3, and he says, thank you very much, I'll get that move done if you can't do it. And that means Cressito has lost not 1, not 2, but 3 positions on these on the last few laps. That's just not good for the Ferrari driver, who had a lightning start. I mean, it might be that he's more geared to the wet conditions and not the dry, so maybe when it comes towards the end, he could be a lot better and he can gain more of an advantage there. But yeah, I think that's what his setup was geared to be. Maybe, obviously, I think, if I'm a driver, to be honest, I like to keep an eye on the weather as much as I can. I mean, if I was any of these drivers right now, I'll be checking Jeff constantly, saying weather reports, but not too much, but probably like every few laps or something, to see when the rain could be expected. Maybe when it starts to get a bit overcast is when people could start to do that, but we'll see anyway, as apparently I think Adam Dude went a bit too risky on lefted, but I don't have a clue, to be honest. As Bobbers has already caught up to Smasher has already caught up to Bobbers then, so Bobbers' soft tyres not really in good shape for now, and Adam Dude and lefted and Jam Pancakes all in this battle as well. 5-way battle, potentially 6-way battle for the lead if Jam Pancakes catches up enough. So, Bobbers goes into the pit lane for his second stop. And that will promote Smasher into the race lead. Adam Dude in second. And Lefted in third. Jam Pancakes 5 temps. Again, Lefted struggling on those softs. Lefted was probably expecting the soft to go a little bit longer in his one of his first dry stints. But no, it's just not going to work out for him. Going into turn 3. What about Adam Dude on Smasher? Now, Adam Dude's going to get DRS, but Smasher has more ERS, so we'll have to wait and see. But let's watch out for Jam Pancakes. I just about saw the move in the background, but Jam Pancakes, incredible scenes from the Mercedes in third place. And his next rival, potentially, more crucially, is second place, and that is Adam Dude. Flying Rosie making another move on the Toro Rosso driver. They've been switching positions for pretty much majority of this race. And Flying Rosie up into 8th. Meanwhile, Cressito has been promoted to 4th place as Lefted goes into the pits for his medium compounded tyres. Now, I haven't commented on this much, but let's just go on board with someone going into turn 1. The sunlight, actually no, yeah, the sunlight, it's just hard to see, like the racing line and the breaker point, it's just really hard to see with that sunlight. And don't forget, the lobby is set to official, so, you know, you've got to be on your A game. Your muscle memory is even more crucial. And these guys were hoping it's not going to get too bright, but it is. So, you know, that is where we might see a few more instances due to the fact that it's blindsided, as Pietro has had a bit of an off into turn 4 by looks of things. As Pietro going to go the inside of Conaretti. Let's see, Conaretti defends. Conaretti gets 8. Well done to him. Also, well done to the 2 Red Bulls once again. T10 Montoya up into 6th place. Doing a great stint on those medium compounded tyres. We are halfway into this racing already. A few people, I think, I've seen in this race taking advantage of track limits. Some people almost going wide in the final corner. But obviously, they're keeping the car together, of course. But let's see then. Adam Dude now 4 tenths behind Smasher. But I think Smasher just has the better straight line speed today. Let's see if Adam Dude can get the better run into turn 4. No, he can't. What about Cressito? he's dropped a bit from Jam Pancake, so he is struggling on those inters, mediums, whereas Jam Pancakes is absolutely thriving right now. He's right on the back of Adam Dude. If he gets the move potentially done on those two, and if Humperdinck scores one more point, then Constructors will be sealed tonight. So we'll have to wait and see about that one. And obviously Jam Pancakes will need to get fastest lap, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. I will definitely have to do some maths at the end of the stream, but you know, I thought I wouldn't be, but I will be. So Adam Dude is right on the back of BMG Smasher. A little better entry to turn 3 this time than previous laps, so this could be his opportunity. And better response to DRS, but I think he turned it off just for a little bit, so that's cost him so much time. That's going to allow Jam Pancakes to take advantage of it, but again, he can't get past either. So this just goes to show that if the car behind you has DRS, and the car in front of you has DRS, they're going to have more advantage compared to it. But Smasher is proving the point that you don't have to have DRS to try and defend nicely here, but, you know, this is one of Smasher's best performances to date. And just a quick reminder, actually, because I did speak about it last week as well. It wasn't that long, actually, before he turned off no assists completely. I believe it was the beginning of this year, or end of last year, where he turned off no assists. Actually, no. It was probably end of F1 2018. I don't even know, but it was quite recently. And he is adapting so well right now as Crescito and Clenzo having a little bit of a battle into turn 3 and 4. As Clenzo is right on the back. Is he going to get the lunge? Crescito again might lose another position if he's not careful. Can Clenzo take the risk and try the move into turn 5? No, not quite. As I think it must be a ding-dong battle happening between these two right now, as Amaze has got a 3-second time penalty due to multiple warnings. And he's already down in last place on those hard compounder tyres. So he is not going to get the Showman Award tonight, which is a bit of a shame, but there we go. But who remembers that really good performance from Amaze in USA, where even though he was not battling pole position, he was defending for his life to hold people up, and it was just absolutely fantastic. But it's a shame we just can't see it today, unfortunately. So this is Adam Dude's next chance. I think he's lost DRS. I think he's lost a bit of DRS. I think potentially for Adam Dude it could be DRS failure. And it's quite common on this circuit, as we got a yellow flag. That's Amazed again, who's doing donuts. You don't want to be doing that, my friend, because otherwise you could get disqualified from the race. And that's not going to help the guys that want to overtake as much as possible. So, you know, and I think Amaze is still doing it. He's got to not do it, to be honest. He will get in trouble for that, that's for sure. Because I have called it on stream, of course. And I think you're only allowed to do donuts, really, in the last race if you're the champion, I believe. So that'll be Jam Pancake's call on that one as well. Adam Dude is even closer on Smasher. He's got a better corner speed. I think the corners is where he's gaining right now. So let's see what Adam Dude can do into turn 4. Is he going to get the inside? No, he backs off again. But at least he's got plenty of ERS. But what about Clenzo and Crescito? Clenzo with the almighty attack. He's going to get the better run into turn 5. And then into turn 6. Ooh. These turns are quite hard. As Clenzo goes to the inside, now to the outside. And I think Clenzo gets P4 from Crescito. What a move from the Racing Point. I mean, he spun on the first lap and was in last place on the opening lap. And now he's up into 4th place. It just goes to show that don't give up, because there may be people that have worse races than you and you can capitalise, and that is what Clenzo has done. Meanwhile, Adam Dude and Jam Pancakes having a run for P2 at this race. Smasher is going to be allowed to get clear of him at the moment. Jam Pancakes is probably thinking to himself, if Adam Dude can't do it, I'm going to try and do it to Smasher soon. So Jam Pancakes really has got to get past Adam Dude right here and right now. And it is getting quite overcast at the moment, so we could see calls for wets pretty soon. And you never know, the game might be lying. It may stay dry for the whole race. We'll have to wait and see. As we're about to start lap 26 of 36 with 11 laps to go this Grand Prix. Let us know who your driver of the day is so far. And I can tell even by going on board with Jam Pancakes, the sunlight, the track in turn 1 is more visible. So the weather could change. And the sun is starting to set a little bit, as the sun is starting to come down as well. So maybe if it does come for time to switch onto the intermediate tyres, will these 3 go together, or will some of these guys try for the undercut? We'll have to wait and see. As Jam Pancakes going for an audacious move there, trying to go for a move on Adam Dude, which I haven't seen on many people, to be honest, but he doesn't want damage, of course, so he decides to back out of it. Jam Pancakes is known for making great moves, and that's what's helped him secure the title. And if you haven't watched his highs and lows from the season, check out his Twitter. I think I've retweeted it somewhere. If not, I will retweet it after the race. But the highs that he's had this season were amazing. And obviously his first win in Bahrain has got to be one of the highlights. As Conor Reddy then goes into the pits. And obviously those tyres have been gone for like 20 laps now. So that is not what he wants. He's on the sauce, but does he know that there's rain coming? He may hope that even know, as Adam Dude then, this is his best chance all race to get past Smasher, but he doesn't get it done. And he's also got a warning light on fuel too. So, I don't know. I would check penalties at this point, but I just can't, because there is just so much battling. And John Pap has disconnected, and apparently his Xbox has turned itself off. That did it to me a couple of weeks ago in Oceania, where it just overheated and it just turned off. So it might be due to the weather in real life, of course, because it's absolutely humid where I am in the southwest of England. So I couldn't imagine what other people would imagine, but we'll have to wait and see. As here we go, Adam Dude again closer, so is Jam Pancakes as well. We could potentially see 3 wide coming up soon, but we know 3 wide into turn 4 does not mix, so one person has to sit out this one. So here we go then. I don't think Adam Dude's going to do it, and I need those Jam Pancakes either. Meanwhile, Lefted has just got past Pietro up into 10th. He's now chasing Tribbian. He's got a better line here. He's going to get the inside. Here he goes. Now goes to the outside into turn 4. And a swooping move from Lefted. He's up into 9th place. On those fresher tyres. And I think Tribbian and Pietro could be in punch territory. We've got a yellow flag, and I do believe it's Amazed again. Doing donuts. Not good. Not good at all. And oh, look at this. Jam Pancakes. An almighty send on Adam Dude. And Jam Pancakes just said, thank you very much. And I think there was a little bit of a tap there, but that might be questioned. But I think Jam Pancakes wants to make some really good moves before the rain comes. And you can tell that the rain is coming because we are seeing some darkened clouds starting to form, in particular on the left-hand side of your screen. As Sector 1 again, but I'm just going to ignore that, to be honest, because, you know, as we're seeing a train of cars, we also got a train of cars between, I think, the Red Bull of Flying Montoya and Flying Rosie as well, and there's a little bit of a rev glitch as well for Flying Rosie, so I'm not going to follow him, pretty much, as on the onboard shots. I will have to pretty much go for the outboard shots, which is a bit of a shame, but there we go. But Rosie seems to be doing well. He's keeping the cut-off fully planted at the moment. So on that 30 out of 36 now. Let's jump on board with Smasher and Jam. Jam Pancakes. This is an audacious move once again. Does it before he goes to turn 3. Amazing stuff. Jam Pancakes is in the lead of this race, and it can prove absolutely crucial going to the last stages of this race. Now Smasher is going to be even more pressure with the likes of Adam Dude. He does not want to lose, and yet another position. And Amaze has retired from the session, and it brings out the VSC. So the virtual safety car has been deployed here in Spielberg. Obviously, we've had one safety car earlier on in the race, and we have a VSC. And you can see Adam Dude is really keen to get going. And we are back racing then. We're in green. And again, chance for these guys to really start to hit a hammer home. It is starting to be cloudy, but I don't think, even if it starts to rain, I don't think it's going to be enough for these intermediate tyres. I think the slicks will just about do the job, and that's going to be worrying for the likes of Tribute and Pietro, who need to pit. Their tyres must be looking absolutely awful right now. They're losing so much time, and Connor Eddy could catch up sooner rather than later. As Jam Pancakes making good work of these two again, trying to defend really nicely as well. Again, your last chance to tell me in the chat who you think should be your driver of the day. It will be interesting to note, of course. And Crescito, I don't think he's going to get a podium at all. He's around about 3 seconds to the top 3. Clenzo could get DRS range of Crescito. Actually, Clenzo is catching. He could get the move done again. He's got to find a few hundredths. Now he's dropped down to 1.4, now 1.010. Could he get into the 10ths maybe? He's got to. He's not going to get DRS here. 9 tenths. He will get DRS into turn 3 though. This is crucial. But I don't think he's going to do enough. Meanwhile, Jam Pancakes, he's almost gone out of our camera shot. He's about 9 tenths. He's going to be out, you know. At one point, Smasher could have no DRS. And Adam Dude can. So that could really help Adam Dude try and get this podium. This second place. Because every point counts. Adam Dude is 3rd in the standings right now. And it looks like he's going to keep it like that right now, as these guys, I think these guys have been on those mediums for so long right now. I mean, for some of these guys, they're going to get punches. I mean, if I was them, I would go on the softs. It's too late to go on to the inters, I think. It just won't be enough. The rain won't come down hard enough, if there is rain. And you never know, there'll be hardly any rain at all. So, you know, it might come back to bite me just a little bit. We'll have to wait and see on that one. As Adam Dude 2 10th and Flying Rosie then Gets the move done. No, it is starting to rain. It's starting to rain. It's coming down heavier than I thought it was going to be. Oh my goodness. This is where it's going to, people really start to slide. But whoa, lefted with that switchback move. He's up into 7th place in this race. Incredible. These conditions could work out really well. Most importantly, this can bring Cressito back into the mix here in Austria. He likes these wet conditions. He thrived in them at the start of this race. And obviously, Smasher is going to get, potentially, DRS still. Yes, he does. Humperdinck is helping Jam Pancakes. Hopefully, Humperdinck's going to... If I was Humperdinck, I would unlap yourself. So Jam Pancakes could get that DRS. And to be honest with you, that is really good teamwork, if I do say so myself. 2 of the teammates helping each other in times of need. And obviously, they want to do that if they want to secure the constructors. They're not going to secure it today, I don't think. But almost certainly, Haas has got a remarkable job to do it next week. If 2 cars don't show up next week, Mercedes would have wrapped the title. But we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Because reserves do count towards the constructors as well. Do not forget that. Do not forget that. We're on the penultimate lap here in Austria. Could this be enough for some of these guys to go on into this? I don't think so. I think it'll be too little, too late, and that could be your race over. So they'll just have to make do with the tyres they've got, and it's going to be very tricky. I'm just worried for some of these guys that they could get punches. I've never seen these guys go like 30 laps on the medium compounded tyres. Pietro, Cressito. That's just crazy. Meanwhile, Clenzo is going to try and get the move around the outside. We've got Cressito. He's going to the inside of Clenzo. I think Cressito didn't have the better run, unfortunately. I think Clenzo doing a much better job in these wet conditions when the rain is coming, of course, and that's helping him a little bit. We're now going to the final lap then of this race. Who is going to win? Smasher has got the move on Jam Pancakes. Jam Pancakes must be struggling right now. I did not see that coming because I was following that battle with Clenzo and Cressito. Because whilst that was happening, Jam Pancakes and Smasher were going at it. And now they're going to go at it again on the final lap. DRS disabled, so the DRS is not going to help whatsoever. Jam Pancakes takes the lead. And that's really going to hurt Sam because he was in the lead there. And Jam Pancakes has gone off. That's going to help Sam massively. These guys, and there's front wing and end plate loss from someone. Not entirely sure. They got to be saving on their tyres right now. What a battle for these top 3. This is insane. And you can tell how slow they're going right now. They just want to keep it as cautious as they can, as well as get involved in the battle. You can see how close Jam Pancakes is to Smasher. If this race was going on for longer, I would have pitted now on those inters. But obviously it would be too late, of course. They're just going ever so slow. And obviously the ERS is down to 0. Who's going to get the win? It's going to be ever so close. I don't think Jam Pancakes has done enough. So here we go then. Coming across the line. I don't know what he's doing with penalties. But Smasher comes across the line to take his first top tier victory in AOR. Jam Pancakes comes across the line in second. Adam Dude third. Cressito, due to penalties, gets P4. Boberts in 5th. Clenzo in 6th. Lefted in 7th. Montoya 8th. Pietro 9th. And Brian Rosie is on... Brian Rosie on the inters in 8th. Okay. Interesting. And Montoya gets points for being a reserve, which is good to see. Well done to him. And Pietro gets 1 point for that. Who gets fastest lap? And that is amazing. And he's retired. So no one gets an extra point for the fastest lap. But who would have called that? Who would have called that? We thought it was Jam Pancakes to gain on the final few laps, but Smasher had the advantage in the intermediate conditions. How did these guys make it on the mediums? I must say, well done to all of them. And I think Smasher's going to be very happy with that. He's going to boost his confidence, ready for next season as well. Because if you have those race wins at the end of the season, it's really going to help you as well. I am going to quickly do some maths right here in a minute anyway. So, let me get my calculator out. There we go. So we're waiting for the standings to show up on my screen. There we go. So Smasher wins. Jam Pancakes in second. Adam Dude third. Casito fourth. Bobbits fifth. Clenzo sixth. Lefted seventh. Flying Rosie 8th, Montoya 9th, and Pietro 10th. And then we've got Connor Eddy, Chibian, John Pat, Humperdinck, and then your retirements are Amazed, Hawk, and LGS. So, math time. So, Jam Pancakes has scored 18 points for Mercedes. The only points for Mercedes then. So, 260 points Mercedes have got in total. And now, let's see what Haas. So 226 and 18. No, wait, 226 and 15, sorry. There we go. No, that's not how you do it. Okay, and then I could do that. So that comes up to 241 points. So 260 minus 241 equals 19 points. So Mercedes have extended their gap by, let me just have a look, 3 points. That's insanely close. So Haas have got it all to do next week in Brazil. So that means the championship for the constructors is going to still go to Brazil. And I will have to do some math to see if they need 2 cars in the Haas to claim the title. But we'll have to wait and see, because otherwise it's going to be hard for Adam Dude's still on his own, because technically he needs to win or get P2. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. But I've enjoyed that race. It had everything. It started wet, had a safety car, then it got dry during the safety car period. Then it was dry until they got to a point towards the end. It was starting to get wet, and there was people struggling on those mediums, being 30 laps on those mediums, and they had to live with it, because otherwise it would have been too late. So, absolutely incredible. I mean, some of these guys I did not catch the battle because I was concentrating for the front, but you know, I'm looking forward to the final round in Austria next week. Not Austria next week, Brazil next week, and Interlagos, which really should be the championship finale in real life, of course, but it is in Abu Dhabi. But you know what it is, but we are having it as the season finale in season 19. And thank you guys for all the ones who have been sticking by. I've been Jess Games 95, and you will see me same time next week for the final round of season 19. The season has gone very quickly. It has had its ups, it has had its downs, but most of the time we've had no dull races. All the 11 races so far have been absolutely fantastic. Obviously, I missed Australia because my internet was having a hissy fit, but all the other races that I was watching and commentating was brilliant. So I've got to say well done to all the drivers. Hopefully they give us a fantastic season finale next week. Make sure you join us then. And until now, have a good evening. Make sure you stay safe in these tough times in the COVID-19 outbreak. And we'll see you on Sunday for, well, next Sunday at 9 PM BST for the Brazilian Grand Prix. I'll be Zane. Good night.